Hi everyone, obviously from the title this is going to be my review and thoughts on the Model in a Bottle face setting spray. Now this one I've actually been using for 7 weeks now. I first mentioned I'd be doing a review on this when I was doing the Model Co Beauty Fix Airbrush Spray face setting one, and I'll also do a link to that below if you haven't already seen that one. So I actually got this particular one from makeupandglow.com.au and I'll link the site below. And this is the original version, so you can get the original formula as well as the sensitive one. People may be sensitive to fragrance or some other chemicals. That will be also on the website as well. Now I haven't tried any of the other products. Obviously they do like a lip sealer, they do eyebrow sealers as well. And when I got this one, it came without the pump spray in the bottle, which just had the cap in the box there. So just a quick overview of the actual product itself. It is a matte finish and it comes with obviously the pump spray. It is 60 mils or 2 fluid ounces of product, and as you can see over the 7 weeks I've really tried to test it out, so I'm literally over halfway through the product. And I did try and do basically a fair comparison. How I try to do that, as I did with the Model Co one, is I would try on days with different types of makeup. So I like to wear mousse foundation, mineral, just standard pressed powder, as well as liquid and other types of foundation, bronzer, brushes, blush as well. So I had a whole different sort of overview of all the different types of makeup and mediums as well. I also try to change it up and have days where I was using maybe Max Fix Plus instead of the Model in a Bottle, or I'd be using one of my other sort of sprays as well. Or even people I know swear by just plain old sort of hairspray, so I even try that too, although I do find it really sticky and tacky. Even though it does have the alcohol in it, which also this does have purified water SD alcohol. As well as this does have as well, but this is a pressurized spray can. I don't really recommend spraying. This has vinyl and other sort of products in hairspray, so I would prefer for people to, if they're going to be using some sort of spray, even if they don't want to use Max Fix Plus, which I find quite spritzing, maybe to use something that is actually recommended for your face, an actual product, particularly if you are sensitive to a lot of products or are prone to breakouts. I'm not. I have combination skin, so you might find this useful if you do have combination skin or particularly oily around the T-zone. I have that as well. It was just a shame that I couldn't sort of test this out in summer, because in Australia you get really humid, sticky summers, so it would have been good to see how it sort of stays on the face. But I try to do it on days where I wouldn't wear the face setting spray. I'd wear maybe a mousse foundation, a cream blush for example, then the next day I'd wear the same sort of makeup, but I'd use the face setting spray under the same sort of conditions. Like if I was out 12 hours, I'd be out 12 hours around about the next day and without touching my makeup, so I could sort of see the effects of using it and without using it. Also had days where I was out in sort of where it was a bit rainy, where it was really cold, or I was in sort of work where it was really sticky and hot, so I sort of tried to see it under those conditions. So I really tried to give it a good run-in. Overall, I did find it basically was doing what it says it does, was setting the makeup on there, because the days that I would be wearing the similar sort of makeup under the same conditions, same makeup under similar conditions, I'd find that I get patches when I didn't use the face setting spray in my makeup, particularly on my face, where I'd have blush or maybe contour, or I'd get more of my shine coming through on the T-zone, whether I was using primer or without. And I tried not to use blotting tissue so I could actually sort of see what was sort of happening to the makeup. And I did find on days where I actually used the Model in a Bottle, it was actually setting that makeup in place. Overall, with it does have a relatively alcohol sort of fragrance. It was a little bit strong, just depending on how sensitive you are to fragrance. I'm not particularly sensitive, but it's like a florally alcohol, almost hairspray sort of smell, like a mousse sort of smell. So there is the sensitive version of this on the market as well, but it's nothing unpleasant. I quite like that. It's not a sticky sort of thing. When you first obviously spray it, if you were actually feeling it straight away, it is a little bit tacky, a little bit sticky. Not quite that stickiness that you get like hairspray, but it's a little bit tacky. But it takes about 20 to 30 seconds for it to dry, and then it basically gives you a nice matte finish. It gives a really sort of silky sheen to the skin, I mean the feeling to the skin anyway, very similar to the Model in a Bottle. Model Co. face setting spray, so that's quite nice. The only thing it wasn't similar to this particular one is this gave me that sort of firming, tightening sort of effect like I went on about in the review. I know some people may not like that sort of tightening effect, but I found it actually felt like the product was on. The first week I actually started using this because I was really used to that tightening, firming, quite refreshing feeling. When I wasn't getting that, I was so tempted to keep pumping this on and of course wasting the spray. You only need either one pump straight down the middle of the face, but I prefer the left and the right to sort of cover both zones. So do a left and a right, hold the eyes closed, pump spray about 20 to 30 seconds, keep it closed so it sets your makeup, and then obviously open the eyes so it's nice and dry. And I found it didn't leave that sort of sticky tacky feeling, but it didn't give that firming effect. So I do actually like that from Model Co. sort of version, but overall gave the same sort of effect with this particular one. And like I said, on days where I wasn't using this, days that I didn't use it, I did find I was getting patches in the makeup, more of a shine effect to the face. Days where I used the Fix Plus, although this is really refreshing and it does have glycerin in it, and I think cucumber in the Max Fix Plus. Other products on the market that are a lot cheaper than the Max Fix Plus do a similar sort of thing, like the Sukin Mist Toner, and that's alcohol and paraben free, etc. You can get other sort of spritzers on the market as well. There's plenty out there. If you look around, make sure you just reading other products in there. Gives a similar sort of feeling to the skin. Doesn't particularly, for my personal experience with it under all the different makeups and conditions, etc., didn't really seem to make it last any longer during the day, but it did sort of set it in place, meaning once I did my makeup, or if I was using a particularly on days I was actually using powder, I felt that using mist sprays sort of tone down that sort of powdery or cakey effect. It helps sort of combine the other, I suppose, mixes on the face. So it gives that nice sort of combination, sort of combining effect to it, sort of to lock it in, but it doesn't really seal it, meaning that if you're sort of rubbing the face, it's still going to come off. Well, that's particularly me. I mean, it doesn't have a lot of glycerin in there, but I don't know. That's just sort of how it did for me. But I found that these sort of ones, the actual set face setting sprays, did sort of help lock in the makeup, particularly on really long days where I went out. I'd even tried under conditions where I'd be going out after work and where I didn't have the luxury of time to obviously reapply my makeup, so wash it off and do a nice fresh sort of layer of makeup, that I'd only have time to sort of touch up the eyes and a little bit of blush or highlight, that I could just do that over the top of obviously having that setting spray on in the morning, hours ago, and then do one little spritz over the top, and that sort of refreshed the look and sort of stopped it looking cakey or overdone or washed out, and it actually worked quite fine. So I found that was great. Didn't give me any issues when I was removing the makeup at night, so it wasn't like I was actually scrubbing it. I tried using exfoliators, cream cleansers, days where I just use nice soap-free, or what do you call it? Cetaphil or something. So I use all the different cleansers I have, or my face wipes didn't seem to have any effect on removing it, so it was all fine, and I didn't have any sensitivity to the product. I'm not prone to breakouts or anything like that, but overall I was pretty pleased with the product. The only sort of major downside would be the prices. In Australia, recommended retail is about $34.95 for the Model Co, and it's about $32, I think, or $34 for about the same for the Model in a Bottle, but you get 60 mils as opposed to, I think it's 50 mils, no, 58, 18 mils, so they're pretty much the same. But if you don't really like the pressurized spray can version, you can go for the Model in a Bottle one. But of course, this has a lot more product in it, being a pressurized sort of spray can. It's got butane and all that sort of stuff in there to help it come out. But that's basically my sort of overall thoughts with it. Would I purchase this product again? When I was deciding which one to sort of go back again, I ended up getting this one because I can actually get this in the shops. I don't know, I haven't seen this in any shops in New South Wales, but then again, I could be completely wrong. I haven't been to every single region, so if anyone does know where an actual shop you can go to, apart from Makeup and Glow, because they've actually got a shop in Queensland, if you let me know, it'd be greatly appreciated. Just post me a comment below. But this one you can pick up at most Gloss stores in Australia, at selected Myer stores, at stock Model Co ranges, as well as I had a $20 gift voucher, so it worked great for me to pick this up again. Not to mention though that I won't try maybe the sensitive or the lip sealer or the eyebrow sealer from this range, although I do find that a $5 lip locker that you can pick up from CUK, I think it is, or something, that's like $5, so you can do that on your eyebrows as well as your lips as well, but that's just me. But overall, very happy with the product, and I hope you enjoyed the review. Take care.